A very warm welcome to our last webinar titled Unstuck on Purpose. And this week, for this last time, we become even more concrete. So instead of simply possibly attending interesting webinars, we're going to become concrete with a so-called operating system. First, however, a short look back on these 6 weeks. We started with our compass test and also titled our why now. And for understanding, I'd like to repeat what it was. It is defined like this. If you say this sentence right now, what I really want this part of my life to stand for is. And then you looked at your work, at your relationships, at your health and body, and also at your contribution and or impact. Then we continued the journey, looking at our triggers and how we react, designing some rules, some patterns, so that our work has more meaning. Then we set boundaries in the week 4 regarding our time and also how we come back to our energy. And then the week 5 was about belonging. That is, how do you interact with your colleagues and with other people in your life? And today we are weaving this into a simple 30-day in brackets operating system. We all know it. If we don't take a certain decision and define a clear intention and also something very concrete, we fall back into our habits. This is what I have just explained. So we will design a very realistic system that can support you on your path and on the path of you becoming even more yourself. So we are going to define 2 simple metrics that you can track along your path, along these 30 days and hopefully also beyond. We will also design 2 gentle rules that protect what matters to you. And then you will also decide on a ritual that brings you back to yourself on a regular basis. So we start with these 2 metrics. And you can ask yourself, what do I want to keep an eye on over the next months? And here you find 3 simple examples. For example, your daily energy, and you can rate it from 1 to 10. Your daily sense of meaning, of purpose, which you can also rate from 1 to 10. And also the number of evenings you respect your stop, in brackets, working time. So it is really best to keep it simple. And you should be able to track this in 30 seconds per day. So you see, you allow yourself 1 minute to reflect, to track how you have been truthful to your purpose, to your meaning, and to yourself. 2 metrics. I leave you a couple of seconds to think about this. And now we move to these 2 gentle rules, which you can consider as guardrails. It's nothing, how shall I say, strict. They are also reminders. And here again, some examples, which could be like this. On weekdays, I close my laptop by 9:30. Or I start my day by checking my compass, your why now, and you know what it is before checking messages, or I don't make big decisions when I am totally exhausted or when I am emotionally aroused. So you choose two rules, two guardrails that support you why now and which feel realistic. They must not be perfect, simply realistic. And again, I allow you a couple of seconds to reflect. And we move to the last step of this practice, a very practical practice, I would love to say. And you decide on a ritual. A ritual is a repeating moment where you consciously reconnect with yourself and your direction or purpose. And again, here you find some examples. A 20-minute walk once a week without your phone. And you listen to nature, to the birds, to the river you may walk along, or simply listen to silence. And silence speaks to us. Or it can be a Sunday evening, 10-minute journal check-in, where you reflect and ask yourself, where was I on purpose this week? And lastly, a weekly coffee with someone who supports your growth, with a loving, caring person. So this ritual should really feel very nourishing. It must not be like another task you have to add on your agenda. No, it must be something pleasant, nourishing, something which is helping you, taking even more care about yourself. Again, I would love to give you a couple of seconds to reflect what it could be for you. And remember, this is a 30-day operating system for you to come nearer to your purpose, to live even more deeply who you are, truly are, in your deepest essence of your being. I continue, and I would love to reflect also briefly on this. Who am I becoming? So imagine you truly live on purpose for the next 30 days. Who am I becoming? In my work, my relationships, and my inner world. And this micro commitment, not only for this week, but for all the weeks after, choose your two metrics, your two rules or guardrails, and one ritual. And indeed, you not only test them, but you experience them for 30 days. And in case you have to adjust, do not just abandon, but adapt so that they feel even more easy to practice. And as every time, it's very nice to listen to some advice, some recommendations or practice, but it is even better to embody them. So we will go inside with a meditation. And this is why now I invite you to take an even more comfortable position on your chair. You feel the ground below your feet. Your hands are relaxed. And your eyes are closed now. And you take a slow breath in through your nose and a longer breath out through your mouth. And again, you breathe in. You can breathe in on the count of 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. You hold on 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you breathe out from your mouth on the count of 7, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And you'll feel like a quiet wave that moves through your chest. And your breath now is like a companion. And now in your inner space, you imagine a large screen in front of you. It can look like a cinema screen, or a calm lake, or a luminous mirror. And this screen reflects your life. You sit in a quiet, private viewing room, and everything you see stays between you and this deeper part of yourself. And for a moment, the screen shows scenes from your current days, your work, your relationships, your evenings, your mornings, and the way you speak to yourself. And you allow a few images to appear. Conversations, emails, your commute, your home, or your small daily routines. And you look at them with curiosity, like an observer who cares very deeply. And now the image shifts. And on the screen appears a clear sentence. If I truly live on purpose for the next 30 days, who am I becoming in my work, my relationships, and my inner world? And you let this question land inside your chest. The film begins again, now with a 30-day future version of you. You see yourself waking up in the morning and you look closely. How do you rise? How do you stand, walk, or breathe? What is different in your face, in your eyes, and in your rhythm? This version of you lives on purpose for 30 days in a row. And purpose here means you remember what matters, and you align small choices with that direction, and you treat yourself as someone whose life is precious. The film shows a regular workday, and you watch the scene. How do you arrive at work, or in your workspace, or in your office at home? How do you open your laptop, your notebook, your tools? And you pay attention to your posture, to your pace. You choose priorities with more intention. You say yes where your purpose calls you. You say later or different where your purpose asks for protection. See one concrete moment from this day, perhaps a meeting, a call, or a difficult task, and you observe how this 30-day future you behaves. Your tone of voice, the clarity of your words, the quality of listening you have, and the way you stay connected to your own center. You can pause the scene and zoom in on the inner world. What kind of thoughts move through this version of me? Which beliefs guide me? And what emotion lives underneath my actions? And you let one word arise that describes this inner state. Perhaps it is steady, brave, warm, clear, curious, or kind. And you hold that word gently. And now the film shifts to relationships, and you see small daily interactions with your colleague, with a friend, a partner, or a neighbor. And this 30-day purpose you enters these moments with more presence. And you look at a scene in more detail. The way you look at each other, the way you listen, the way you speak truth with care. And you notice what happens in the space between you and the other person. Perhaps there is more honesty or more humor. Perhaps there is more tenderness or more grounded boundaries. And you let the image show you. You are becoming someone who brings purpose into connection. Your presence becomes a quiet blessing in the room. And now the film shows you evening. This version of you finishes the day. How do you close the laptop, the tasks, the open loops? Perhaps you pause for a moment of reflection. Where did I live on purpose today? Where do I choose another move tomorrow? See one or two small rituals that mark the end of the day. A walk, a candle, a short stretch, or a line in a journal, or a simple, deep, conscious breath on the balcony. And you feel how your body receives this way of living for 30 days from now. You are watching who you are becoming, more aligned, more honest, and more alive. And now the screen brightens, a new sentence appears. Imagine it is 6 months from now, and you have lived this personal operating system with great care. Your personal operating system is the way you organize yourself, your life, the habits that protect your energy, the boundaries that honor your values, and the rituals that keep you close to your purpose. So you let the film jump forward in time, 6 months later. You see yourself again on the screen. Take a moment simply to look at this 6 months future you and notice your posture, the eyes, the way the chest moves with breath, and the quality of your presence. you have lived your personal operating system with care for half a year, and you sense the alignment in this version of you. The inside and the outside much more often. Choices echo your real values, and action and intuition work together smoothly. And now let the screen show scenes from a week in this future life. And first we look at work. Watch yourself moving through tasks, projects, meetings. Your work can also be your activity at home. And you notice how you enter a room or a call, how you ask questions, or how you respond to pressure. Alignment lives in the small details, your space, your clarity, your ability to choose what really matters to you. Sense the clarity in this future you. Decisions arise from a deeper place. You spend less energy on inner conflict and more on meaningful action. And perhaps you see a moment where old patterns used to kind of rule you. Yet now, this future you pauses, breathes, and chooses differently. Let that image stay for a few breaths. And next, the film shows your inner world. And you see this 6 months you alone, maybe in a kitchen, on a walk, on the train, or on your sofa. And you notice how you think and feel. The inner space holds more light and more room. Thoughts move through like clouds. They arrive and they pass. Like clouds. The heart feels more open, more resilient at the same time. Sense the inner space of this future you. More room between impulse and action. More kindness in self-talk. More access to calm, even in intense moments. Allow your body to feel a taste of this inner spaciousness right now. A little more light in the chest. A little more air inside the ribs. A little more quiet behind your forehead. And finally, the film moves through relationships in this 6 months future of you. You see yourself with people who matter to you, and you observe how you listen, how you express your needs and limits, and how you share appreciation. Alignment, clarity, and inner space appear in these connections as well. You arrive more fully, you react less from old stories, and you invite real, authentic contact. Notice at least one scene where love, respect, or truth flows more freely than today. And receive this image as a message from your own deeper wisdom about what you truly desire. And now the film slows, then pauses on a still frame. It is a close-up of this future you 6 months from now. Gaze at this image and say inwardly, this version of me exists as a possibility. My choices bring this version closer. And you let that statement settle in your body. And perhaps you feel warmth in your chest, strength in your back, and a sense of direction in your belly. And now the screen becomes a mirror. You and this future you stand on each side. And for a moment, the two images begin to merge. And you sense qualities from your future self flowing toward you. And there is alignment, there is clarity, there is inner space, there is also calm, courage, and kindness towards self and others. Breathe these qualities in as if the mirror allows a gentle transfer of information. On the inhale you receive, and on the exhale you anchor. And now you ask inside, what is one simple action I can live in the next 24 hours that belongs to this future me? And allow one small yet very concrete answer. Is it a boundary, a conversation, a pause, a ritual, or a way of speaking to yourself? And you trust the first clear impulse that feels honest and realistic and reachable. And this action becomes a bridge between the present and the future you have perceived. And now the mirror fades. You sense again your body sitting. You feel the ground under your feet, the support under your legs and hips, and the whole length of your spine. And you take a deeper breath in, and a long, steady breath out. A deeper breath in, and a long, steady breath out. And now you start moving slowly your fingers, your toes, your shoulders, your neck. And you allow your eyes to open again. And you carry 3 words with you from this journey. Alignment, clarity, inner space. These qualities already live in you. Each purposeful day, each mindful choice gives them more room in your life. And I would love to repeat. These qualities already live in you. Each purposeful day, each mindful choice gives them more room in your life. As each time, I would love to share a poetic quote. And this one is from Tagore. I slept and dreamt that life was joy. I awoke and saw that life was service. I acted, and behold, service was joy. So beyond this series, Unstuck on Purpose, I would love to thank you for having walked with me during these weeks. If you wish to continue and go even deeper, I would love to say much deeper, then you can explore and experience Radiant Vitality this coming weekend and also end of March. And Power Ignited and Personal Mastery, which is in French, La Voie du Secret, ou Retour vers ta totalité. Whether you join or not, remember every small, honest action in line with your purpose changes the field you live in, changes the frequencies within your body and the frequencies around your body, and people around you feel them. So Unstuck on Purpose is not only a series, it is a way of moving through your one and very precious life. And if you wish to listen again, not only to this one webinar, but to previous ones, you can look at my my YouTube channel. And also I would like to remind you that I am writing a book titled Is Your Mind Still Yours in the Age of AI? The subtitle is 7 Currents for Coherent Leadership, Inner Authority, and Humane Power. Humane is chosen on purpose. Why this picture? To tell you that I would love to invite you to enjoy every day. And in that beautiful Sahara desert, there is only pure joy. And silence speaks to us if we want to listen. And silence reconnects us to our purpose, which is also a topic of my book. Actually, silence is one of the 7 currents. So I would love to say goodbye for today. Looking forward to meeting you all in person later down the road, virtually again. And I wish you a wonderful week and a wonderful time ahead.